A couple weeks ago, I got an email in my inbox from a company that has meant so much to my production setup. Sure enough, it was Canon. They asked me if I want to go to Toronto with some other great creators, have dinner with them, and check out some of the latest things that they have been working on. So of course, I said yes, and since I had 24 hours in the city, I decided to make a travel vlog. I've been to Toronto quite a few times in the past year or so, and this is the first time where the weather was not extremely hot or cold. As a Canadian myself, I think Toronto captures everything that Canada is about all in one place. It's really just got a bit of everything. You've got sports, music, some fashion, great food, and as you're probably going to see later in this video as well, it's got a lot of nature. So with the day I had, I didn't exactly have any plans, but I decided to take my camera with me and document everything. Funny enough, on the plane there, I found out that my friend Henry was gonna be there as well. A photographer who's also from the West Coast who I've been following for years and talking to for a little while, but we've never actually met in person until we got to Toronto. He's definitely got a really cool story and I love his work, so we checked out Toronto together and took the EOS R with us. If you guys check out his Instagram feed, which I'm gonna link down below, you've probably seen some pretty crazy stuff, but Henry, tell them about yourself.
Yo, so I'm a 23-year-old photographer based in Vancouver.
West Coast?
Yeah, basically, how to describe myself? I'm just doing what I love. I take pictures and travel the world, and like, I don't know if he's told you before, or you've seen my work before, but I work for Air Canada, so working for them, I'm able to travel basically whenever I want, whenever I want, kind of like based on the flexible schedule. And then I've pretty much seen like the whole world through that, and then because of them actually I developed my my interest and my passion for photography, and that's kind of branched off into like not only just like landscape, but like I love taking pictures of like concerts. So if you go to my feed, you can see like kind of like one side of my feed is like all artists. So I've shot for artists like I don't know, like Post Malone, Travis, Drake actually posted one of my photos once.
Yeah,
didn't give me credit, just screenshotted it, threw a filter on, no big deal. But yeah, just artist photography is probably like my favorite, just like live concerts. But yeah.
And you're also on Logic's album cover.
Oh yeah, Logic's a good friend of mine. I've known him for like over 5-6 years now, and yeah, he's just shown love since day one, and he's just kind of supported what I've been doing, and kind of likewise, just yeah.
So you guys can go ahead and check him out down below, and he's got a huge smile on his face because he's won a pair of Blazers today.
Oh yeah.
Still got to get a fit pick for that.
Yeah, I know. Just raffle luck, man. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah, see, he's got the Chicago's. He has a Supreme boat. How many places has that boat been to?
Dude, my boat has been to 3 places. So Iceland, it's been to Banff and Lake Louise, and then it's just been to like local lake. Just took it out.
It's pretty much the best spots you could take a boat to out in Iceland.
Yeah.
I slowly make my way out there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, go check him out.
Yeah. Peace out.
Shout out my boy Henry right here in the studio. Hey.
What are your first impressions?
These are nice, man. These are like pumpkin spice lattes for hype beasts right here. Fuck, man. That's how to win raffles, you enter them. I personally like this. I like how it's like got the blue, it's got
that truck in the back is my audio. Time to unds.
Fuck, man. No. Oh, wait. Not yet, man. I'm not the type of guy that
Winter wear.
Like
yeah, guys, let him know in the comments down below what color he should wear. Okay, this thing won't shut up.
So we got the laces it comes with?
Yeah.
Or the blue?
The blue.
What do you think?
Gotta match the Astroworld tee.
Blue zip. tie.
What if that thing just flew over here and stole your shoe?
Yeah, I'd be so mad right now. You're not getting these shoes.
He wants it. He wants it. Man's gonna enter the raffle.
My luck with raffles, man. I was telling Justin how I was gonna win these yesterday. Last night we were at a rooftop bar just getting food, and man, the email.
His 4th pair.
Cut to the email.
The amount this guy's paid for the 10-pack is less than I paid for one side of my Chicago Jordan 1s, which he won, by the way.
That's how you do it, man. Raffles are the way to go.
Shout out to Livestock.
Shout out to Livestock.
All rigged.
Shout out to my raffle plugs.
In the times that I've been to Toronto, one place that I've always wanted to visit was Toronto Island. Going into it, I really didn't know what to expect aside from the fact that this is a great place to take Instagram photos and everyone seems to do it. Where are we walking to right now?
We're walking to Center Island, 2 kilometers away.
Apparently there's no cars on this island, so...
I was gonna say call an Uber. Uber out here.
Missed the first ferry, so just assumed that it was walking distance, but he's got his blazers still, his pickups.
The Leafs game tonight.
Pickups for today. That would have been a $550 for the vlog. We had to go to the Leafs game.
It's just Canon's event to go to the vlog.
It's the first pair of blazers on Toronto Island.
Oh yeah, flex. First pair.
I already stepped on some bird shit too. It's great. I got some bird shit on my pants. Which side is it? Oh, it's right here. Yeah. There we go. Gang.
Stepped in bird shit.
Is it still stuck to the bottom of your shoe? Oh. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Some Toronto Island souvenirs. See? Sell me something I'll throw away. I think it's crazy that just a 15-minute ferry away from Toronto is an island that almost feels so secluded and quiet, unpopulated, and it's really just nature. But looking between the bushes, you've got a perfect view of the entire city.
Ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself now. Everybody.
How long have we been walking for now?
Feels like we started yesterday.
Didn't read the sign properly. Thought taking the Ward Island ferry would save time.
Man, I'm dead right now. I'm legit dead.
Still bird shit on the bottom of my shoe.
Still?
No, I think it's gone now. Been walking long enough. As you guys saw, I took the wrong ferry to the island, which made for a nice long walk, but after exploring it for a little bit, which was really nice, it was time to head to Canon Creator Lab and check everything out. Everywhere had a huge line, so how is it? First taste, good?
Can't talk, I'm just eating.
My bad.
Ennis in after the puck in the midst of a line change. Here comes Tavares in his first shift. He's in front of the net.
Here we had the chance to learn everything we needed to know about the Canon EOS R, as well as all of its features, some of the new lenses, test out all of the gear that Canon had to offer, and I think for any photographer this was an absolute dream. After a nice dinner on the first night with Canon and exploring the city for the entire day the next, it was time to head back home, edit some videos, and head off to New York in 2 more days. What I've really been trying to do with these travel videos is just capture what it's like to go on a quick trip in amazing cities, check out the food, the fashion, the shopping, the landscapes, and everything around it, while also giving you guys kind of a behind the scenes look at everything as well as tech events. Stay tuned though, because I have an LA video coming up that I'm really excited about, as well as another New York vlog before I go to New York again. But if you guys have any suggestions as to how I can improve these videos in terms of length, quality, and cinematics, make sure you drop them down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little intro sequence, even though it was quite long. That was kind of filmed in a day while I was in Toronto with Canon, and I'm going to give you guys my impressions of the Canon EOS R after having it for a couple weeks. So this is a camera that I was super excited about. As you guys might know, in the past few months, I've switched everything over to Canon, including the 2 bodies, the 1DX2 as my main camera, as well as a 24-70, 100mm, 16-35, and I've been extremely happy with the Canon ecosystem. So naturally, when they announced their first full-frame mirrorless camera, it was something that I definitely wanted to check out and was about to pre-order it until Canon sent me an email one day. But these are going to be my impressions, my honest impressions of what I think about this camera, and I think in a lot of ways I was very surprised by how small it was and how nice it is to carry around. But regardless of all the great features, there's definitely a few things that I really wish it did have. So just to get the specs out of the way, this camera has a 30.3 megapixel full frame sensor, and after switching over to full frame for Instagram photos in the past year and a half or so with the Canon 6D Mark II and the 5D IV and then the 1D, I think full frame is definitely something that I want to stay with, because full frame just has that kind of look, the depth of field and everything about it. So to have something at this size is really nice. This is also one of the most powerful cameras that Canon has ever made, with a Digic 8 processor, an ISO range of up to 40,000. It's also got 5,655 manually selectable autofocus points, with Canon's very well-known dual pixel autofocus system, which from what I've tested is the best autofocus system I've tried. But most importantly, the great thing about mirrorless cameras is not only the fact that it's nice and light, but what Canon has done is also a flip out screen, which is something that I was really happy to initially see on the Canon 6D Mark II, because even for photos, it is so useful, and for videos, it is crucial. Canon kind of described this camera as the best of both worlds when it comes to the 6D Mark II and the 5D Mark IV, where it has 4K video, shoots great photos, has a flip-out screen, is very light, but it still uses the same Canon LPE6 batteries, so these batteries are nice and cheap if you need to purchase replacement ones, or if you have the 5D Mark IV, 6D, or even the 80D, then you can still use your battery with the new camera. I think based on all the stuff that I've mentioned, and being someone who shoots a lot of video, for any YouTuber out there who is a vlogger, shoots in 1080p, this is literally the perfect camera that I can recommend because of the full frame look. You've also got the flip out screen, great autofocus, and it also records to SD card, so the memory size is very manageable. If you take a lot of Instagram photos, this setup is also one that you can use for that. I think for photos, this is definitely going to be something that I want to use a lot. It's able to shoot at 8 frames per second, and the photos that come out of it, characteristic of Canon, are very good. But I think one of the biggest things that I was excited about with this camera after taking it to Toronto and New York is video. When it comes to video recording though, I think whether or not this camera is going to be for you is really going to come down to what you're going to be using it for. When it comes to 1080p video, I think this is probably the best option, like I just mentioned, because of the versatility, the sensor size, the weight, and the autofocus. But one thing that I was pretty disappointed of was the fact that this camera doesn't have 4K 60. I'm kind of fine with the fact that it doesn't have any image stabilization built in, but being someone who shoots a lot of 4K in the tech industry, 60 is definitely important, especially when I'm shooting handheld for my travel videos. I understand that you can't have everything, but for me personally, I think that is the biggest complaint I have about this camera. What I do like about it though is that it records to SD card and ALL-I or IPB, so the file size is very manageable. There's also C-Log, which is always nice to see because Canon colors, in my opinion, are the best on the market. And another thing that I also really like is the fact that this camera has focus peaking and manual focus assist, which is something that you don't see on every Canon DSLR that shoots video. What I really like is that they have also introduced a line of adapters that are fully compatible with EF lenses, because I know a lot of people are going to be coming from a Canon ecosystem already with a lens collection. There's going to be 3 adapters that are going to be available, including one that is just a simple EF adapter to RF, another one that has a programmable smart dial, and another that also has polarizer and ND filter capabilities to build in. These adapters don't add much weight at all, but most importantly are fully compatible with the EF lenses to the point where autofocus performance is exactly the same. That's definitely something that I'm really happy about, and it's what I've been using the most with the EOS R. So after having 2 weeks with this camera, I think it does a lot of things very well. The photo quality is what you would expect, it looks great, and it also comes in at a size where if you have a full frame sensor, it is something that I will take around with me in a lot of situations. For anyone who does a lot of videos, then this is definitely an option that you should consider if you shoot a lot of 1080p. And for those who even shoot 4K and don't need the 60p option, and I think this size and C-Log is just a great combo to have. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any other questions, make sure you drop them down below. But this has been kind of a video of my 24 hours in Toronto, as well as my experience with the Canon EOS R, and I'll see you all in the next one.